Find the value of cosine theta over 2 given cosine theta equal to -3/5, where the angle theta lies between 180 and 270 degrees. And the other problem is find the value of cosine theta over 2 given here they gave us the sine, that is 12/13, and the angle theta is between 450 and 540. Okay, so we know the formula for cosine theta over 2 as this. Cosine theta over 2 is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 plus cosine theta divided 2. So after identifying the positive or negative sign for this angle, you can directly substitute this value of cosine over here in this formula, 1 plus cosine theta, that is -3/5, and simplify, we get the answer easily. But in the 22nd problem, they gave us the sine, and you are looking for cosine theta over 2, and in the formula I don't see a sine. So making use of this value, sine theta is equal to 12/13, I have to find cosine, and then we have to proceed. Okay, so I'll do this 22nd problem for you, and 21st you can do it by yourself very easily. Direct substitution. Alright, now we are looking for this angle cosine theta over 2. Alright, let us see in which quadrant this angle theta over 2 lies. For that, we'll divide this inequality by 2. Let us divide by 2 all through. 450 divided 2, theta divided 2, and 540 divided 2. So what is 450 divided 2? That gives you 225 degrees, less than or equal to theta over 2, that is less than half of 540 is how much? 270 degrees, right? So this angle theta over 2 lies between 225 and 270. So what is the quadrant we are looking here? It is 225 to 270, right? We know that in the first quadrant it is 0 to 90, 90 to 180, and then 180 to 270. So it is there in the third quadrant. So in the third quadrant, your this value, the value of cosine theta over 2 is a negative. We know that here all ratios, there is sine, and this is tangent and cosine, all silver teacups. All ratios are positive here. The sine is positive in the second quadrant, tangent is positive in the third, and cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant. Now in the third quadrant, cosine is a negative, only tangent is positive. Therefore, the formula, this formula, I can write it as cosine theta over 2 is equal to negative, then square root of 1 plus cosine theta over 2. Alright. Now, having known this is sine, the value of the sine is 12 divided 13. So we have to find the cosine. Now going back to the old process, like given sine theta, and this is the angle we have. So how do you change? 450 is more than 360, so you can just take away 360. 450 minus 360 gives you how much? 90 degrees is less than or equal to theta, and that is less than 540 minus 180. Sorry, 540 minus 360 gives you 180. I'll just check it out. 540 minus 360 is a 180. I'll write there, and let me go back to this also just to make sure. 450 minus 360 is a 90. So that is 90 I wrote here, and 540 minus 360 is a 180. Okay, 180 degrees. So that angle theta is in the second quadrant. See, this is up to 90, and in second quadrant you have more than 90 and less than 180. And let me draw one line, and that is the angle theta. Draw a perpendicular, that becomes your opposite side, that's the y value. Okay, that is 12 here. This is 12. And your hypotenuse is 13. Now use that a square plus b square, that is square, is equal to c square. So 12 square plus b square is equal to 13 square. 144, that is 12 square, plus b square is equal to 13 square is 169. So 169 minus 144 is how much? 25. So b square is equal to 25. Now square root of 25, that is b, gives you 5. It is plus or minus 5. And now you are on the negative side of x-axis. So it is a negative 5. So the adjacent side is a negative 5. Hence, your cosine value, the cosine theta, is equal to negative 5. The adjacent side over hypotenuse, that is 13. So 5 over 13 with a negative sign. Now bring this value here and substitute. So please have a clear understanding between this angle, how to identify this angle, where it lies, and how to get this one, angle theta over 2 lies in which quadrant. Please check it out. Okay, let us substitute this cosine theta value into the formula. Cosine theta over 2 is equal to negative square root 1 plus cosine theta is negative 5 over 13, and in the denominator I have 2. And now basic simplification. See, I just did this whole thing for getting the value of cosine theta. Now, using our knowledge of simplification of fractions, negative sign is there in the formula already. Now if I have a 13 in the denominator, we'll just make this one as 13 over 13, so that those two denominators are same. I'll write the denominator 13. So here you are left with 13, because 13 over 13 is the same one. I didn't change anything. And there plus times minus, that's a negative sign. And because of 13 in the denominator, numerator is just copied. That 5 is copied, and whole big division sign, and in the denominator I have 2. Then what happens? This becomes this, I can even change it. 13 minus 5 is 8. 8 divided 13. This big division changed to multiplication, and 2, that is 2 over 1, and it has to be flipped, or we have to take the reciprocal of this 2 over 1, that is 1 over 2, because this actual main division sign is changed to multiplication. Now what is left? So this gives 8 over 13 times 2 is 26 square root. Now here we see that both the numerator and denominator are even numbers, so we can simplify. That is, 2 can divide 8 4 times, and 2 divides this 26 13 times. So this square root of 8 over 26 changes to 4 over 13. Now 13 is not a perfect square, so we have to change this, right? And already you know that 13 is not a perfect square and it is a prime number. No more common factors. I have no other option but to just multiply this 13 by 13. So if I multiply 13 with 13, this 4 is also multiplied by 13. We are multiplying by 13 on both numerator and denominator, so that the value of this fraction is not changed. Now let me just write it down as just 4 times 13. I am not multiplying 4 times 13, 52 I am not writing, because our simplification is going to be easier. Just leave them alone. And 13 times 13 also I can just write 13 square, or 169. Then on the left hand side, what do you have? We are looking for cosine theta over 2. So I will write what sine theta over 2 is equal to cosine theta over 2 is equal to, we know that it is negative sign already there in the formula, and I don't need this. Cosine theta over 2 is equal to negative. Now square root of 4 is 2 times square root of 13. I don't know, so I'll just leave it as square root of 13. And in the denominator, square root of 169, that is 13. 13 square is 169, so you leave it like this. Hence, my answer is cosine theta over 2 is equal to negative 2 times square root of 13 and divide 13. That's the result. Okay, so the process is little bit extra steps, like we have to find the value of this adjacent side by making use of the Pythagorean theorem and substituting in this, right? Okay, please try the other problem. Right, thank you.